Um, the reason why I'm doing this video, and I'm gonna set the scene for you guys, but I gotta kind of drop this, and for at least the time being, I gotta leave this alone because once I found out about this, I was like, oh my god, I can't take this guy serious. So to set the scene, if you've paid attention to my last streams, I said something that ruffled some feathers because, of course, it was taken out of context, and of course, the same people that generally do that went on this rampage of, okay, let's go post it. Let's go try to present this as if he's saying something that he's not. And it generally came from me saying that, people that are anti-libertarian, knock libertarianism, knock libertarians, would never come to their defense. It's foolish for those types to crawl or ask for the aid of or defense of libertarians in the event that that same state, definitely when you consider over the last months, these same folks have advocated lockdowns and so forth, if that same state does not come to their defense. And I just thought it was crazy because so many people ask, like, where are the libertarians? They've asked this a couple of times over the course of the last month. They're asking this because of what was happening in, I believe it was Portland. Supposedly people are getting snatched up by feds and being questioned, and people was like, where are the libertarians? They should be the main one in opposition to that. Now, of course, there are plenty of libertarians that are in opposition to it, but I brought up the fact that it's silly for them to expect us to come to their aid. And we're talking about protesters in Portland. Are they all communists? I have no idea. I would absolutely say that at least a decent amount of them are leftists, and certainly guys that would never ever come to my defense at all. And I said they get what they deserve. That's something that I've said multiple times, and I've said this even about conservatives, for example, when it comes to them bootlicking like the state or like cops, and then the cops turn on them or don't defend them. I've said the same thing. Now that was fine. It wasn't until I mentioned the communists, and I was asking. I was saying that this is crazy for these guys to expect they get what they deserve, and in said deserving, they are not deserving, obviously, of the, let's say, my defense as an individual. I'll say libertarians, but certainly my defense as a libertarian, they're not deserving of it, and they get what they deserve when they don't come to their defense. It's exactly what they deserve, is what I say. Now, of course, people twisted that and made it seem like I said this guy somebody deserved to be, because he asked me, quoting that quote, you get what you deserve. And this guy, this same group of folks, loser brigade, guys that claim themselves to be libertarians who only really pop up to down talk me and go out of their way to either associate me with things that they feel are bad and painting me as a bad light. Only time these types. And they took an isolated post, and when a guy was asking me, the same guy who had previously posted the previous context, knowing what I meant when I said, so you get what you deserve, he asked me about this guy that got beat up or shot with a beanbag or something like that by way of the feds. And he was like, did he get what he deserved? I said, hey, let me know his positions. I'll let you know. Same thing applies. And I'm referring to the original context. Of course, they took that to try to make it seem like he deserved getting shot with a bullet by way of the communists. And no, what it's about is like, they don't deserve my defense, right? It is more so what it is. And I would never go out of my way. Let's say never. Let's say I generally will not go out of my way to defend the communists. I will not guard a communist, will not guard a communist, and other people, not just communists, other types as well, because I know they'll stab me in the back, and they're not going to reciprocate and never going to return the favor. And definitely if you have those individuals that have advocated for these policies, let's say the more statist leftists, advocated for these this sort of statism, definitely over the last 5 months where you've been forcing people in their house, closing down businesses and making it illegal for them to operate, had no problem still advocating that people be in prison for covering their face. Those types, and in that same state that they want to use on someone else, it gets used on them. That's what they don't deserve my defense, and they're getting what they deserve. So that was the original context, and I wanted to explain that. I know I took my time with that. But these loser brigade types have popped up, and they continuously try to make it seem like I'm adopting fascism, or I want state agents, or I'm saying it's okay for state agents to do what it is that they do. No, never made that claim or anything of that nature. Never made that claim. I can say two things. Communism is bad. State kidnapping people are bad. Made two videos about this. I talked about this extensively in threads. I've clarified this, but who cares about clarification when the guy that you despise, you can down talk, and that's all this is. But one of the guys, his name is Adam Bates, and he's this guy that pops up. He's a member of the Libertarian Party, always pops up every now and then to down talk me, tie me to something, try to say that I'm saying things that I'm not. I'm taking things completely out of context, and he's good for that. He wants to paint me as a bad person. And today, what he said was Eric July of Nazis can be libertarians. Again, there's another one of those things where that was a doctored photo with also removing of certain context of my words, which I've explained this as well numerous times with the Talib Kweli thing. You can check that out. But he says fame is now demanding. And first of all, that's not where I got my fame or anything like that. Obviously, most of you probably don't even know about what he's referring to. But the fame thing comes from them. That was all the loser brigade types that did that, right? That wanted to spread that group of libertarian echo chamber libertarians who never reach out to me, never want to talk to me, never want to have live discussions. They decline me at every single time. At definitely this Adam Bates guy, he recently says, well, now I'll debate, but he has to donate $30,000 to some pro-immigration thing. I was like, the hell is that? That didn't make sense, right? But they generally decline. We've had 2 debates, for example, 2 days of debates, been only a handful of people, not even a handful of people in terms of numbers, that have actually stepped up to the plate to have an honest dispute or an honest debate. One of which, the guy who originally asked me that question, we did have him on when he asked me the question about the guy having a beanbag. I guess he got shot with a beanbag, tear gas can, I don't know, something like that. He was in the hospital. It looked like, and he was severely injured. And the guy that asked me about did he get what he deserved, quoting me, quoting Joker of all people, that guy we had on the show, and he conceded. He conceded. He said that he was wrong. I'm not a fascist, and he apologized. But anyway, this guy says is now demanding that I debate him after months of insisting he never offered me that and insisting I was just lying about it to make myself famous. I didn't say that you were lying to make yourself famous. Never insisted that. I might just said you're lying because you are. You do that. You do that a lot. Because mocking the Paleo Limp Bizkit nobody's ever heard of is the key to fame and fortune. Again, he's making stuff up. Never made that claim. Never have I made that claim. Never have I made the claim that he's lying to get famous. Never made that claim, but that's what he's saying. But contra that, I did offer to debate him. That is a lie. No, you responded to my offer recently, finally, and this is what you said. And I said, that's stupid. No, I'm not giving you money or anything like that. You got my name in your mouth. You are tweeting about me. You are Facebooking about me. I'm just saying, let's have an honest conversation instead of doing that and hiding behind computer screens, hiding behind text, hiding behind echo chambers. And he says if he will make a sizable donation to a refugee, right here, like I just mentioned that, I don't work for free, and I damn sure don't associate with Nazi alt-right interests out of my own goodwill. So this kind of deal is trying to paint me as this sort of ally or interest or whatever have you, using those terms, painting me in the bad light, trying to say that like I like Nazis or I'm favorable to Nazis or something like that, of that nature. And then I saw this picture somebody shared with me. The dude that is sitting here trying to claim someone's a Nazi has kicked it with openly. A status, right? A status, absolutely. I believe she was a member. If she not, she ran for maybe some, I don't know. I can't remember if she ran for some sort of local office, but if I'm not mistaken, she was someone at some point part of some like Democratic Socialist Party or something of that nature. Nonetheless, we do know she's a leftist. We do know that she's, progressive in that regard as far as the state and its concerned. But more importantly, as far as what's worth talking about here is that this is the guy, or she's kicking it, or he is kicking it with her, and she has been tied to multiple basically anti-Semitism controversies. Let's say that. Now, I'm not claiming that she's anti-Jewish or something like that. I'd never do that. But it's insane that of all people, this guy gets to kick it with someone that's tied to those said actual controversies, while then trying to pin this whole Nazism, for example, and then like obviously Nazis, anti-Jewish, all this on me. So when I saw that, I was like, now every time he tries to knock me, I gotta just bring this up. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, I stopped bringing it up once he actually mans up and has a conversation with me like an adult, and discuss some of the claims that he's making. But that's not anything that he desires. But this dude is kicking it with her, and he gets to do that. Someone actually tied to these claims of being anti-Semitic. Okay, you can do that, but somehow I'm the interest. Maybe he's projecting. Maybe when he calls other people a Nazi, he's projecting or something of that nature. Let me say this. And like I said, I'm not going to talk much about this afterwards. I'm still going to, the challenge is always there. The offer is always there for his group, these types, to have a conversation with me. My email is wide open. My contact's wide open. If we can get you on the show, we'll get you in. Let me be clear about this. There are a group of, and I already know a lot of my fans aren't going to give a god dog about this. I already know. But I do want to say this. I refer to it, so I like to do the video so I don't have to always go back to saying certain things. But there's a group of people that call themselves libertarians that hate me. They despise me. Now, I'm okay with you not liking me. But if you have to lie to get there, paint me in something like try to insist that I'm for fascism, I'm for Nazism, or I'm with the alt-right, or I'm friendly to the alt-right, or something silly like that, slander, more so libel, whatever you want to call it, saying that I have positions that I don't. And even after I've clarified them multiple times, you still go and say I have a position that I don't, such as, for example, people saying that I support the state kidnapping people. I support the state shooting people just because they're my enemies. These are not claims that I've ever made. Those are lies. No, I don't. I don't support the state doing essentially anything. They're generally the aggressor. It's the whole reason why I call them rival gangs when the communists get into it with the state. Or they're in their agents. Some of those times they're interchangeable, right? You get communists that are also state agents that get involved with the state or politicians, or at least call the shots and tell the state agents what to do. And they get out there and beef, though. Those are rival gang members. That's the whole point of what I said that. But somehow, when I don't defend either group, it means I'm defending the state. It's insane. It doesn't even make sense. But these are the type of things that these individuals have to do. They have to lie. They have to make things up. They have to conjure a reality that just simply does not exist. And if you have to lie and reach, take things out of context, I said things I never said, in order to paint me as a bad person, again, that says more about you than it does me. And then when I extend my offer to, hey, let's talk about this, and you decline, you give me excuses as to why you can't do it, and you still are on the phone doing this about me. You won't even discuss it with me. That's saying more about you than it is about me. You know what I'm saying? But this is why I said if I'm at a libertarian party or something like a event or something, I don't know how much he gets out. I know he's a member of the Libertarian Party, but if I go there and he's there, I'm pulling up on him. And when I say I'm pulling up on him, it does not mean that I'm going to bust him upside his face or something like that. Nah, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that all of that energy, I want to make sure that's kept, and I'm going to address my issues with you. Because you run from me in the conversation that we can't have an honest dialogue, like on show or something of that nature, right? And that's just weird, and that's what weird people do. Me, if I'm gonna talk down on someone, and then I talk down on someone or talk about someone, it doesn't matter who it is, and they reach out to me and say, "Hey, I would love to discuss this and debate this topic with you." I would be a sucker to decline that or deny them that. If they want it, it doesn't have to be public. Even if they just want to talk, I'd be a sucker to deny them that. That's what frauds do. That's what these dudes are. They're frauds. They're pretending, high-siding, fronting, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm gonna refer to this going forward, man. You can't be sitting here actually kicking it with, not no loosely tied to, you kicking it. You got pictures on your Facebook. Somebody shares this with me. You got pictures on your Facebook actually kicking it with someone that's been tied to these controversies of anti-Jewish, but you get to say that I'm a Nazi again, or that I'm kicking it with them, which doesn't make any sense. We already know this. That's just doesn't make any sense. But if you gonna do that, man, at least have your ducks in a row, man. Are you tied to everything that she does? I mean, you actually kicking it on. Why this is weird? It's weird. It's like these people are more aggressive with me than they are actual status. So you can kick it with these types and all that, but me, an actual libertarian, you can't name one anti-libertarian position that I have. An actual libertarian, they take so much issue with. Maybe they aren't libertarians at all, and maybe they're frauds.